Hi, I'm Jonah Comstock, Editor-in-Chief of pharmaphorum. I'm here with Carlos Buesa, the CEO of Oryzon. We are at the SACS Neuroscience Forum the day before the start of the main part of the JP Morgan and JP Morgan Week in San Francisco. Thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
So tell me, I know that Oryzon is you're working with epigenetics, right? In personalized medicine in not only neuro, but neuro is a part of it. Tell me a little bit about the mission, and maybe for folks who don't entirely understand epigenetics, give us sort of the quick explanation there.
Okay, no, thank you. Yes, we are probably one of the companies most experienced and focused in epigenetics on the world. We have two programs, one in oncology and the other one in CNS. And epigenetics, broadly speaking, is a set of mechanisms. There are various mechanisms with different levels of complexity, which are regulating how the genes are expressed or not. People have a very good idea that genes are our genetic code that we get from our fathers and mothers. But yeah, these genes, which are there, which are our heritage, they express in a certain way depending on the environment, depending on how we grow up, if we get stressed, if we get a traumatic disorder, for many aspects. These epigenetic mechanisms help our bodies to adjust, to optimize the way that our genes are expressed.
So how can you leverage epigenetics to create new treatments?
Well, I mean, epigenetics is one of the many mechanisms that are involved in diseases. There is no a silver bullet killing a certain specific disease. Epigenetics is one of these approaches. Um, we know that the target that we are using, LSD1, is involved in a subset of specific disorders, particularly in oncology, in leukemias, small cell lung cancer, but also in hematological disorders like sickle cell disease and others. In CNS, we know that LSD1 is involved in a number of diseases, and that inhibiting LSD1, we can rescue excessive aggression, we can improve sociability. And we know that in certain specific neurodevelopmental syndromes, like Kabuki syndrome, like some subsets of autism, some other syndrome like Kleefstra syndrome, that they are caused by the mutation in a specific gene, we are able to rescue these deficits to make the body working normal, back to normal again by inhibiting LSD1. So inhibiting LSD1 is compensating the deficits that are produced by those mutations. So it's a very complex sort of scenario, but we are very specialized in leukemia. We are very specialized in psychiatric disorders, and we think that we have two specific drugs which are basically very performing and showing lots of hope to our to this subset of patients. That's our driver every day.
So what brings you to San Francisco? Where are you looking for partners, investors? What do you have on the horizon for the coming year?
Yeah, well, we were showing a few weeks ago at ASH in Orlando. Fantastic data, monumental data, I would say, in first line acute myeloid leukemia, where we were having 100% of responses, 100%. From those responses, 90% were complete remissions, which were the best of the best of the best that you can offer to a cancer patient. And 70% of those patients were able to go for a human bone marrow transplantation, which is the way that we try to cure finally those patients. So that was basically a monumental turn up on our program. And we are here these days in San Francisco at the JP Morgan Week to socialize this data with investors, to socialize this data with pharma, with corporates. And we are having ahead a splendid and very exciting agenda for the next day. So we hope that this is going to help us to keep moving forward to help patients.
Great. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of excitement this year that, investing is back, deals are back. It's potentially going to be a pretty exciting year at JP Morgan. Is that your sense?
Yes, it is. I mean, we did, yes, we have the same feeling. We did a transaction, an equity raise last April, where we were able to get an oversubscribed capital increase with no warrants attached and so on. And we have got manifestations of interest with several investors that they are basically willing to help us on unsolicited manifestations that they are willing to help us again to keep moving forward. So yeah, we think that in general, the general atmosphere, because of the macro components, I mean, the rates and a number of other things, are going on the right direction. Generalists are coming back to the biotech industry, and we are seeing a much more open attitude to listen to good stories like the one that we have.
Looking kind of further ahead into the future, what are you guys, what's the long-term goal for Oryzon? How do you hope that these therapies you're working on will develop, this kind of space that you're pioneering? How do you hope that it will sort of fit in with the existing standards of practice in cancer and in neuro?
Well, we believe that epigenetics is going to be a significant and transformational complementary tool to treat a number of diseases. For instance, coming back to leukemia, leukemia has been treated on the last 5-7 years with a backbone, which is venetoclax from AbbVie, which is basically an apoptotic agent, and making the cancer cells to die. I mean, so together with an hypomethylating agent is acetidine, and this has been the standard of care for the last few years. We think that our molecule implement another component is basically acting where venetoclax and isacitidine is not acting on the stemness compartment of the cancer cells, on these leukemic stem cells which are going to produce the relapse, and then it will become hopefully a part of the backbone which is going to be constitute the new standard of care, and to which other agents will be added to treat a specific mutation. So we see our drug and our approaches as a very complementary approaches for oncology. In CNS, we think that we are representing a totally new approach. We are the only ones developing an LSD1 inhibitor in CNS. We think that in CNS we need desperately new targets. We have been playing around with the same targets for the last 40 years. And I think that LSD1 is one of the targets that may play an important role in the years to come. So that's how we see the biology and the fit with the current competitive landscape.
Excellent. Thanks so much for talking with me, and good luck.
Thank you very much.